Welcome to That's So Clutch, an automotive podcast that bridges the gap between car industry experts and those who are not. Hey everyone, welcome to That's So Clutch. If you're new here, I'm Alini Ferreira, your host. But if you're returning, you may notice we're in a new area. That's because we're in the Valley visiting our dear friend, Sam Tijerina, General Manager of Mercedes-Benz of San Juan. How are you doing, Sam?
I'm doing fantastic.
Good. So, Sam, you started in the automotive industry very young. Your great-grandfather opened Spikes Ford in 1937, where you sold your first car at just 15 years old, which is wild.
Yeah.
You were in high school selling cars.
Yeah.
But while you were doing that, you were also going to school at UTSA, where you graduated in 2003. With 14 years of automotive experience in almost every management position, you were given the opportunity to join the Mercedes-Benz family in 2010. Since then, Mercedes-Benz of San Juan has been extremely successful and 5-time Mercedes-Benz Best of the Best winner. So you are in it for the long run.
Definitely.
So you've spent majority of your career in South Texas. What's the craziest thing you've experienced in the automotive industry in the Valley?
Oh my gosh.
I'm sure there's tons of stories.
Well, I've been 12 years here at Mercedes and then 15 years at Spikes Ford. So almost 30 years of doing this. And there's probably a laundry list of stories, right? But I'm gonna shrink it down to the ones that here at Mercedes, and a couple that really like pop out that I know that no other stores have had to deal with. One of our first or second year, we were selling an E-Coupe to an older gentleman, and we agreed to terms, we agreed to prices, and then he looks at me, he was real serious, and he goes, "I'm gonna pay in gold." And I said, "What?" Straight up, busts out this bag with gold coins, right? And I look at him, I'm like, oh, man. What am I going to do with the gold, right? So thought about it, and I knew my grandpa was a collector of gold and fine metals. So I called my grandpa and I said, "Hey, Grandpa, I got this guy with $50,000 worth of gold, and I can't literally take it. Would you want to buy it? And then you give me the money?" And that's how it went down.
Oh, my gosh.
My grandpa drove down, met this older man. They ended up being buddies. Looked at the gold coins. They were, hindsight, I wish I would have bought them, because they've gone up.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like, I cannot believe people still have that to this day. Gold.
In gold coins. So that was one that was really interesting here. And I have to add this other story because it was just like really crazy. One time I had this vehicle, a Jeep Cherokee, come in and trade, and it was a white Jeep Cherokee. It had a Hello Kitty sticker in the back. Like, you're like, "Oh man, it's a little Jeep Cherokee," and the guy's like, "Yeah, it's my daughter. She's 17, whatever." And we look at the vehicle, and come to find out, it's fully bulletproof. His daughter's car, like she gets driven around, right? And it's fully bulletproof. It has this glass. It's like about this thick, like 3 inches thick, and you get in there and you feel like you're in a fishbowl. I mean. But then what I really thought was really crazy, it was a level 3 with electrified door handles.
What?
Yes. And they traded it here, and then we sold it.
Someone bought that?
They thought it was
Did they keep the Hello Kitty sticker?
No, we had to take out the Hello Kitty sticker, but I just thought that was like so like disharming. And then you look at it, it's like electrified door handles.
Yeah.
That was pretty wild. So, we have interesting situations, South Texas. I think because we see stuff from, United States, and also see stuff that happens in Mexico and kind of mesh together. So we get some unique situations.
The best of both worlds.
Yeah, definitely.
So with your experience, how has the automotive industry changed in recent years? And what do you think are driving these changes?
Oh, man. You're going to get me on my soapbox on electrification, but, the electrification's coming. A lot of the changes are going, a lot of units, a lot of models are changing, and that's, I think, the biggest change, right? Where, it used to just be, sprinkled in electrics or even hybrids, and now it's 20-30% of my inventory available. It's electric. Yeah. So that's been the biggest change I've seen in the last 2 or 3 years, the push towards electrification.
Yeah.
Not only at the government level, right, but also with the factory. The factory really standing behind them, saying that we're gonna have a large part of our fleet being electric. So I've seen the huge changes recent years concerning that.
So what is Mercedes-Benz plan for electric?
They want to have an array of models, right? Cars, SUVs. Which I just came back from the meeting in Vancouver, the National Dealer Board meeting, and they actually introduced not only regular electrics for everybody, but ultra luxury electrics. So they actually coming out with a Maybach electric car, electric SUV. Yeah, it's got this two-tone paint, so it's like really exclusive.
Wow.
And what I got since was Mercedes is really no longer chasing being the number one volume in electric and luxury vehicles. Their focus is more to be on a standout step above luxury, more exclusive, not your everyday BMW.
Yeah. Call them out.
Ultra exclusive, right?
Yeah.
They're no longer chasing, we're number one. No, we want to have the nicest, most technologically advanced vehicles around, and that's what Mercedes-Benz is doing. It's really wild that really focusing on their Maybach brand, their G-Wagon brand, which we can't hold on to G-Wagon. I haven't had a stock G-Wagon in almost 3.5 years.
Really?
And what I mean by stock is just sitting here.
Yeah. It's like it's here. It's off the lot.
It's usually sold before they arrive. Like my salesmen are sold. If I have one that happens to be in the pipeline without a name on it, it's like hammered on social media the day it's available, and it's usually gone before it arrives.
Wow.
So
that's crazy. Is there gonna be like an electric G-Wagon?
Actually, yeah. Hey,
really?
Yeah. So actually, I didn't get to see one, but the rumors and obviously they have a prototype model.
Oh my gosh.
And I think that vehicle is great for the electrification, because if you think about it, electrics is all batteries on the bottom, and I know in recent podcasts you've learned about electric cars. So it's got like this, and the G-Wagon's like a square box. So having it all, and it gives a great center of gravity also. So there's some benefits to it. But yeah, they'll be coming out with an electric G. So we're excited. I've already had like 10 customers. I want it. I'm like, hey, relax. I don't even know if I'm going to get one yet. So,
they haven't even come out yet.
I'll put the money down. Hey, relax.
Don't know how much they cost.
Exactly. They don't even know.
That's funny. So going into South Texas a little bit, what are some of the unique challenges and opportunities specific to South Texas within the automotive industry?
Well, and I'm going to tie this into what we talked about earlier about the electrification. South Texas is a late adopter to trends. It just is. We're still in Gangnam Style down here. Okay.
Oh my gosh, that's a long time
and we
ago.
did the Harlem Shake last week. So we're a little slow compared
With
to
trends?
Austin with trends. Yeah, we're a little slow. So adaptation to electrification is still just not quite there yet. Also, it's so spread out. South Texas, it's crazy when I tell someone, I'm from the Valley. I'm like, what's the site? I'm like, well, McAllen's one of the bigger cities. It's like 200,000 people. But from South Padre Island to Rio Grande City is over 1.2 million people.
Yeah.
So, and it's extremely spread out, like really spread out. Not a lot of infrastructure. As a matter of fact, our store here in Mercedes-Benz San Juan has the only level 3 charger in the entire valley.
What?
You think about it.
That's
it's
crazy.
right out there.
Yeah. Well, no wonder no one wants an electric
There's
vehicle.
only one, right? So, but you think about it too. It's not necessarily infrastructure stuff.
Yeah.
Because most charging happens at home. Most people charge it like their phone.
That's
when they go to bed, plug it in, go to sleep. And when you wake up, it's full. I think they say about 85% of all charging happens at home, right? So it's not necessarily that, but there are people that still have the charge anxiety, the range anxiety, and just kind of old school. They have to get in their truck and go down to the ranch and stuff like that.
Hear it roar.
Yeah, So I see that to be a challenge. Especially in South Texas. When you look at infrastructure and just the overall adopting or acceptance of electrification. So we're gonna wait a couple more years and till we get a hang of it and get the infrastructure going. But I think we'll get there eventually. But I just feel like that's our biggest challenge right now, the acceptance. So one of the things that we did here, I put like 7 or 8 of them in my loaner fleet. Right. So when people come and get service done on their gas cars, they have the ability to drive an electric and enjoy it. Right. And
test it out.
And a fully charged electric car. I drove one the other day. I was good for 4 to 5 days, like without any issues. and I don't have a charger at my house, so it was just at 100, and then I was averaging about 10% a day, so when I turned it back in, I had 30%. I was good. So, I encourage all my clients, to, if they're coming in for service or whatever, hey, ask for the electric. It's a good idea to see if it works for your normal driving habits, and it's the way of the future. So we got to embrace it.
Well, so in your opinion, what are the most significant trends or developments that consumers should watch out for in the near future, other than electric? Obviously, that is the future.
Yeah.
But is there anything else?
Obviously, right now we're in a situation with interest rates climbing, right? So my suggestion is to people buying right now, because not everyone could pay cash and not everyone could avoid interest rates, right? It is what it is. One of the things that I suggest, find a good credit union, find someone that has this kind of rapport with you. You, in some cases, could get a really good rate even now. Perfect example, I'm a member of a federal credit union here in town. I bought a vehicle about 6 months ago, so the rates weren't as climbing high, and I still got a 2.9. It's very difficult to get that now. It's like extremely difficult. I saw their newsletter; they raised it to 3.59. But but even still, I've been seeing rates for 800s, like perfect credit on a pre-owned car. Let's just and just to let everyone know, pre-owned cars technically have higher rates than new cars.
Why is that?
To a bank, it's considered more risky. For example, new cars have warranty. If something were to happen, things happen. Cars aren't perfect. They break. That's why they have warranties, right? So if something were to happen, you have the warranty, you go get it fixed. To the bank's mind, they're saying, hey, no matter what, that repair ain't going to interfere with my payment. Right? They're going to always have that money for the payment because the repairs are covered. On a pre-owned vehicle, not necessarily do you have an extended warranty. It's considered a little bit more of a riskier loan. So pre-owned cars, and the older the pre-owned car, the higher the rate, the bigger the risk. And it's usually like a 10-year cutoff. So if you have a collector car or whatever, it's only a cash transaction or a credit union that you have that relationship with, right? They'll go ahead and do it. But I mean, I've been seeing, let's say a 2017 with an 800 credit score, perfect, never missed a payment in their lives. And the best I could get is like a 7.9. It's crazy.
Jeez.
Yeah. So I would say right now in this climate, just be wary of it. A lot of my customers, I've been seeing them they've been, I want to say reinvesting or investing in their current vehicles in the service, right? I had a client the other day.
That's smart.
Yeah, they said, you know what? Let me just spend money on this one and ride the wave for about a year and a half until we see some rates come down. And I could go ahead and save there because I'm paying a 199 on the car I'm currently driving.
Yeah.
And then get into another one at 7.9. My buying power is less. I could afford less at that rate. So I see I would suggest invest in maintenance and keep your vehicle that you're currently driving up to speed and just really working well, because either you have a great credit union that backs you up, or you're going to ride it out for about a year and a half until rates come down and save some money. But I've been seeing that happen. Also, a lot of customers with leases, right? They did a lease 3 years ago. And they come in, the lease is ending. Instead of turning it in and getting another one, a lot of customers are just refinancing that same car because what they owe is way less than what the market is right now. So there's a lot of little band-aids to kind of avoid this interest and credit stuff that's happening on houses and cars and anything. Anything's more expensive right now. But,
even milk.
Everything.
Like literally everything.
Everything.
Moving on a little bit, can you share any insights into the impact of autonomous driving technology, especially with like Mercedes-Benz?
That's a great question. I've Mercedes has had the autonomous driving feature for a very long time, but there is some legal statutes that they can't make it fully autonomous because you have state laws. Each state has its own laws. They have to have a driver present and being aware. Yeah. So there's this really cool YouTube video of an S-Class. They drove from sea to sea, from California to New York, with no one behind the wheel. And what they did, don't do this at home. What they did.
This was done by professionals.
This was done on YouTube. Look it up on YouTube. Don't do it. So the steering wheel has to know that you're there. And every couple seconds, it'll say, touch the steering wheel.
Uh-huh.
It has to know that you're involved in the situation
Yeah.
going on. Well, they taped a little Red Bull can to the steering wheel to kind of weight it a little bit. And that sucker drove all the way across the United States by
Oh my
itself.
gosh.
Yeah.
Past cars too?
So what it does, it actually links to cars in front of you, right? So it doesn't necessarily pass cars and get aggressive, you know,
defensive
like Bobby,
drive, yeah.
what is it? I'm thinking Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
Right? So it doesn't necessarily pass cars.
Yeah.
It follows cars. It follows cars.
gosh.
So it'll turn. If a car turns right, it'll turn. So it'll link on. And it follows the lines on the road.
Yeah.
So really interesting on technology. And believe me, I can't wait till it's fully accepted, fully autonomous cars, because there's so much stuff I could do.
Yeah.
You know,
Answer emails.
I've been utilizing my car time with audiobooks, right? So
those are great.
You know what I mean? Because I don't know,
Podcasts.
it's wasted time. Yeah, podcasts. It's wasted time, right?
Yeah.
So, but imagine if you had your hands free and your eyes free.
Yeah.
You could do all kinds of stuff. Who
Sounds
knows what we could do?
Sounds like you need a personal driver.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
So for individuals who are not experts in the automotive industry, such as myself, what advice would you give them when purchasing a luxury vehicle like Mercedes-Benz?
Well, this is the thing. You know, when you're purchasing luxury, we all know it is not a need. It's a want.
Yeah.
Right? You don't ever wake up and say, oh man, I need that S-Class. I need that Benz. You know, it's just never needed. It's a want. And wants means you have options, right? Once you... So when it comes to our customers, we want to set ourselves apart because and the fact of customer service and expecting customer expectations and being there 24/7. My salespeople are not just salespeople or sales professionals. They're 24-hour concierges. If this guy calls you and he needs your help at 3 a.m. with a flat tire, you're up and you're helping him and you're going. Like it's the way we do business.
Yeah.
We don't sell... we don't sell cars. We make dreams come true. I was thinking, I had to say that. But it's true.
But it's true. Yeah.
It's true. You know, so we really like to really make them feel special and do whatever it takes because they could buy anything. If they're buying a Benz, they could buy a BMW, a Lexus, a Audi, a Porsche. So we want to make sure that we taking care of our customers above and beyond the car itself.
Yeah. You're not just getting a car, you're getting an experience.
Experience.
Yeah.
You know, this peace of mind that someone's got your back, you know, and that's what we do. As a matter of fact, a lot of my customers, you know, some of my doctors and stuff, they're car guys, right? Not only their daily drivers is usually the Benz, and they have like the Porsche GT3 or the Ferrari on their weekend cars, right? I have some of these doctors that will call me and advise on buying these exotics because they just trust me and they know me, and that goes for all my salesmen too. A lot of them will, like, they have this relationship where they call them on any kind of car. We understand you got wants, you know. So as long as you drive the Benz as your daily, that's awesome. Let me help you with the Porsche and the Ferrari and everything else.
Let me come see it.
Yeah, exactly. Let me borrow for the weekend.
So my last question for you isn't really automotive related, but it can be if you want to. And I ask everyone this too.
Okay.
If you could tell your younger self one thing, what would it be?
Can I get into something personal?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, actually, this September, I celebrate 8 years sober. 8 years without a drop of alcohol. And if I could go back, I wish I would have done that sooner. Because in this time, I've been able to excel and become general manager of the store that I've worked at so hard at. I've gotten closer to my family. I've gotten closer to God. I got married.
That's amazing.
You know? I got a dog.
Yeah.
You know? All these things wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for my sobriety and my faith in God.
Yeah.
So I definitely believe, without a doubt, I would have done it way back when. I truly believe it gives you an edge in life. You know, I think life's a game. Why not give yourself an edge? You know, I used to be this Wolf on Wall Street type mentality, this work hard, play harder. It's all BS. For what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now
For
I
a
look
split
back.
second of happiness.
And it's gone. And you're chasing it again. And you're chasing it again. You know, so now I'm so much fulfilled. You know, I go home, I have this beautiful wife. I have to pinch myself. I do, and I bought this new house. And it all is because I choose to live my life a certain way. And I believe wholeheartedly that if I would have done it sooner, who knows? This could have been my store.
Yeah.
You know, not just working
Yeah.
as a general manager. So,
Well, you still got time.
I know. One day, you know, but in the meantime, I'm living my best life with a great team, and I just continue to look forward to what the day brings and what kind of challenges come up and stuff, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I loved your ending. I loved this entire thing. This was awesome. Thank you so much, Sam.
I had a great time. Hopefully, we don't need a lot of edits.
Definitely not. Maybe. Thank you again.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining. I hope you enjoyed this episode of That's So Clutch. And as always, if you have any questions about the automotive industry, please feel free to leave them down below, and maybe we'll feature them in the next video. Till next time.